as of April this year, I've seen a pretty big halt in my new attendance is down 44%, 44% less new clients coming in. Welcome back to the Around the Districts podcast. I'm Gabrielle Mazar, and today we have Melissa Harlan. She is the owner of Drink Me Tea Room. Being small business owners, we're going to discuss how the past 6 years has impacted us and a little bit more about her business as well. So welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So why don't you tell me a little bit about Drink Me Tea Room? What is it, and what is your journey to get to where you are today?
Sure. Drink Me Tea Room is a fun and joyful place that serves traditional afternoon tea. So we focus on kind of the British traditional tea service. But we also host events. We have drag bingo there once a month. We have book clubs. So really there's a lot of like fun events that happen there. But the main focus really is everything we make is gluten-free and vegan, so we're very focused on food allergies and providing the same experience to people with food allergies that they wouldn't get in other places. So I am vegan and gluten-free, and if I go to afternoon tea somewhere, my experience is very different from everyone else that goes with me. Usually it's highly modified. I get less items that are on my tray compared to everyone else. Sometimes they can do vegan but not gluten-free, or gluten-free but not vegan. So I needed it to be a place that I could eat. And I know I'm not the only one that has overlapping food allergies. So that's one of our big focuses. We also serve cocktails, and we partner with a Tempe distillery for most of our spirits. And then we infuse tea into all of our cocktails as well. So tea is part of our food, the tea service itself, and then also our cocktails. So tea's throughout the experience. The experience itself is really very fun and structured. So people who've never done afternoon tea before, we really break it down and guide them through it because it can be intimidating. It's a lot of items all at once. There's a flow to your tea service. So my team's really, really good at walking people through it because usually it sounds like a fun thing to do. And if no one's done afternoon tea before, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So that's what we do. We are in South Tempe. We're at Warner and McClintock.
Yeah, you're located just 2 miles from me. I'm at Warner and Kyrene, so
yeah,
very close to me. Tell me a little bit about, so you opened during COVID.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that and your journey through that and how you kind of made it to today and kind of the parallels between what's happening now and what you feel happened during COVID and in between then.
So I left a corporate job. I knew I was leaving and went to London for spring break. And my family and I loved afternoon tea. So I started writing a business plan on my flight home. So the inspiration struck, and that was my next thing. So I started working on it in 2019 is when I started writing out business plan, researching. I had no idea what I was doing. I've never had a small business. I really was completely overwhelmed by the whole process, but lots of Google searches and researching. So really everything was in motion. Like I signed a lease in November of 2019 and construction was happening, and then COVID hit. Yeah. So like the ship had already sailed, like it was already happening. And there really I wasn't planning on stopping, even though there was a pandemic. It slowed everything down. Construction took longer. And so we ended up opening in July. We should have been open like spring. And then COVID kind of stopped all of that. So really, everything was still in motion. And I really had the attitude of, well, I'm going to open the door and just cross my fingers and hope people come.
Yeah, I kind of was in the same boat as you. I bought Pilates Tempe in November of 2019. And then 6 months later, it was like, okay, you're being shut down. And I remember just saying, okay, this is sink or swim.
Mhm.
What am I going to do? Either you walk away and lose everything you invested, or you just figure it out and make it work.
Mhm.
And obviously you and I both have made it work, but it's difficult. It was difficult because there were a lot of obstacles you had to overcome to get through that. You having opened a new business that you couldn't even go into, and me, luckily I already had a business running, so I did have a lot of support already. So that was very lucky for me, but navigating all of that. But what I noticed after the fact is starting in about 2022, our revenue just started to kind of come in, and people started to come in, even though there was all this hardship, because I think people were looking for something to do, or
Yeah.
looking for a smaller gym space to work in and support smaller businesses. Do you feel like that was kind of similar to your experience?
Yeah, I think people really were looking for a place to connect with humans in person. So when that started happening again, they were looking for places that were still like, we still had tables spread really far apart. Like, I mean, it helped not have to buy as much furniture to start with because of COVID restrictions,
Yeah.
but people really were missing that human connection. So they definitely were ready to come and support small businesses because they knew that everyone was struggling through COVID.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big one. And then I also think people were still like working through the pandemic, and there was also still money in the economy where they wanted to spend their money.
Yeah.
Which is something that I don't know that I'm seeing now.
I agree. I definitely can see. So I know for me personally, my business gross revenue and attendance increased 15 to 20% year over year. And as of April this year, I've seen a pretty big halt in my new attendance is down 44%. So I have 44% less new clients coming in. I still have the same clients coming in, but I'm also seeing people spend very differently.
Yeah.
They're buying different packages. They're spending less money, as opposed to buying a package, they might just buy a drop in, or as opposed to buying a 90-day unlimited, they buy a 4-pack. So I'm seeing people spend differently, as well as less new people coming in. What are you experiencing? Because you and I have memberships. I don't know if you have anything, you're more retail than I am. So
yeah, we're a reservation based restaurant. I do have a to-go side as well, like a separate tea and treats space. But for the restaurant, I saw a drop off in customers in November, starting in November last year. It was 50% down year over year. And what I'm seeing now is definitely back to the same kind of volume as during COVID. Like, it's very, very, very low. And then people are waiting till the very last minute to book a reservation. Yeah. So we used to have reservations booked out, a couple weeks. We could really plan ahead. And now people book last minute, the last 2 days before we'll see people booking. So it's really hard to plan when we don't know if they're going to show up or not.
That's one of the things that I see paralleled now to COVID is planning. Marketing is different. Planning your, income and revenue and the next month, whatever, is so similar to how I felt in 2020 with COVID going on, that it was very confusing. Mm-hmm. And you just don't know how to plan for it because we don't know what's coming. Whereas I feel like the last 3 years, it was like, okay, we've got this down. This is what's working. This is what we're doing. And now we're finding that the same things aren't necessarily working and people aren't spending money the same. So it's been very different. What do you feel you're doing differently to bring business in, or to market, or to keep the same business that you have?
I was trying to increase like ad spending, marketing, trying to partner with as many kind of promotional opportunities that we can. We luckily we're promoting or doing a cross promotion with the Downton Abbey movie right now.
Okay.
Which is great that they reached out and wanted to work with us on that. We did it the last time the Downton Abbey movie came out. And there's like giveaways and, movie swag, which is lovely that they're wanting to do it again. But any kind of opportunity like that is like,
It's huge.
we're trying to partner with whomever we can.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really difficult because I do think the economy is so like unknown. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No one knows how to plan for anything. So
Yeah.
they don't want to spend their money because they don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
They don't know if layoffs are coming. They don't know like what's going to happen politically. People don't want to leave their houses. There's just impacts everywhere.
Yeah. I know a client of mine just was in Las Vegas for a concert over the weekend, and she was talking to a bartender at it was Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. And she was asking him what's going on. He said, we're down almost 40-50% in tourism. Las Vegas is.
Yeah.
So they're seeing such a huge hit. I mean, tourism is down and just people aren't spending money. They're not spending money, whereas restaurants would have a wait outside the door. Like you said, reservations, we're just not finding people doing that right now. So it is very troubling and, very hard to plan. And I think as small business owners, we need to support each other. And like you said, work together for partnerships, because that's where we're going to find the most business is through referrals, through your community, because we're just not seeing those people just find us and coming in because they're not even looking. They're not looking for a tea room or they're not looking for Pilates because that is expendable income that people just aren't spending.
Yes.
Yeah. So have you noticed also a difference in clientele, like the type of people coming in and, who you're bringing in or who's leaving and not coming back? Have you noticed any changes in that recently?
I would say we're seeing overall across the board customers down. I don't know that I notice a certain demographic one way or another. We also really are like, have been part of the Greater Phoenix Equality Chamber. So we're doing marketing events and partnerships with the LGBTQ community. So I am seeing some support from them, which is amazing. And then also part of Local First, like they're also trying to help connect other businesses to help, promote each other and work on that kind of partnership.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know overall, like customer wise, I don't know that I've seen a change. It's just just dropped off.
Just a halt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope that we can kind of navigate through this. I think we're going to have to get creative in ways that help us bring business in and really supporting that local business, because your business and my business are very much part of the community. My business has been around for, since 2008. So we are very in the community and people know us here. So that is such a saving grace for us. But, if you're dropping 20, 30%, 40%, you're taking a pretty huge hit. So it's worrisome.
It's very worrisome.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for almost a year, last 9 months, it's really a debate on how long will the funding last? How long can I take losses month over month over month? Really, that's the big question. Like, how long can we survive?
Yeah. Well, so as I said, we're here with Melissa from Drink Me Tea Room. We're talking about her business, and we're going to wrap up this episode, but we will be back for part 2 to discuss more about her small business and how the city of Tempe is helping to impact that and how tariffs impact her business as well. So thank you for watching. Please like, repost, follow us, all that stuff for the Around the Districts podcast.